A big run by David Montgomery for a first down, 50 yards rushing tonight. Look, the rushing attack with Montgomery and Gibbs, it was more balanced tonight. Look, the Lions have no problems right now. But I'm sorry, but there is a big thing with Dan Campbell's fourth down gambles, right? With the Campbell's gambling, calling
Campbell's
gambling.
Is he going to host a game show? It'll be after Travis Kelce's.
The gambles on fourth down are great when they work, right? See, but I'm old enough to remember the NFC title game last year when we're going to go for it on fourth down in the second half on the road in San Francisco, and we didn't go to the Super Bowl because of it.
Play.
Right? Now, you did it 3 times tonight. You go for it at the end of the first half, you throw a touchdown. You go for it on 4th and 1 from your own 30-yard line, don't get it, and you lose the lead. You go for it here on 4th and 1 from the 20-yard line where a field goal is going to give you the lead, but yet you have to defend for the last 30-ish seconds. Okay, not ideal, but still, most teams would say, listen, I'll put my defense on the field to defend for 30 seconds. We got to make sure we get the field goal. Because if we go for it on 4th and 1, then and we don't get it, boy, that looks really, really bad. Now, I give Dan Campbell a lot of credit because the guts to come back and say we're still going to go for it, even though we got stopped. Jahmyr Gibbs got stopped the last time we went for it. But these decisions are risky. And going for it on fourth down is not an exact science where, hey, we're going to get it X amount of times. And we're going like it's a mentality that the Lions have, right? It's a mentality that the Lions have with going for it on fourth down. And I get it. But when I say there's a concern, this is not about now or week 15 or week 16. This is NFC championship game type concerns where, hey, not all fourth down decisions are created equally, right? Because just to use the NFC title game and what we saw tonight as an example, right? It's one thing to say, hey, we're going to go for it on fourth down a bunch of times week 14 at home against the Packers, right? That's a great decision. It's quite another to say we're going to go for it on fourth down on the road in the NFC Championship game and one time throw the ball to our fourth receiver. When everybody's nerves are kind of jangly and odd, they're two different circumstances. Just because something's a good idea now doesn't mean in a month and a half it's still a good idea. You know, going for it on fourth down is always going to be risky. It's never going to be something where, hey, Dan Campbell and the Lions are pushing forth a new thought in the NFL where go for it on fourth down all the time, right? Even the tush push, which we thought this is going to take off. Everybody around now teams don't even do it. Well, Jason Kelce retired and that's not working out. You know what? The other teams have found a way to get around it. We don't do that anymore. Okay, it's always going to be risky. So what Campbell is doing now, hey, it works. And again, it's okay in the regular. When you're 11-1, yeah, go for it on fourth. It's fine. When you're 3-9, go for it on fourth down. But the time that I'm going to say it's wary. This is, I'm old man in the woods in a horror movie going, everything is fine right now because you kids are all young and healthy and good looking and you're going to go and have sex and drink beer and smoke in the woods. And then somebody's going to show up with a machete and kill you. Don't go in there. Everything sounds great now when you're here buying chips and beer and soda and everything else. Yeah, it's awesome.
And beer.
But it's all good. But keep that here, man. Don't go into the woods. There's a guy there. He comes in here all the time. Every Thursday he comes in. We play some cribbage together. I sell him some worms to fish. He's a nice dude. He doesn't kill me because, he's got to have a cribbage partner. But you teenagers in the woods, you guys are all fresh meat for him. Like, it's not about now for this, for Campbelling. It's about what it's going to be like when you do this, when everything is on the line and it's the divisional playoff or the NFC title game and you have a chance to take the lead, you have a chance to do something positive, and instead it's a risk that doesn't work out and it winds up biting you in the ass at the absolute worst time. That's my concern for the Lions, right? We talked about peaking and they seem to be motoring towards the playoffs now, but Campbelling is a thing, man. And I get it's a mentality and it's something that grows. And hey, when the more you make it, the more great it is, but it's always going to be a risk. And with risks, ostensibly and invariably, it comes back to, hey, the one time we got to have something on fourth down, we decide to do it when maybe we're going to get it, maybe we're not going to get it. It doesn't turn out to go our way. Because it's not just 4th and a half yard line he's going for it on. He goes for it on 4th and half a yard, 4th and 2, 4th and 6, 4th and 8. Like, this is when he decides to go for it. It's like, dude, 4th and 8, no one's going to tell you to go for it. Sometimes it works out great. And over the course of a game in the regular season, when you keep getting the ball back and your offense is putting up a lot of points, yeah, it's great. But NFC title game against the Eagles, when suddenly it's 4th and 1 on that 46-yard line, and you say, let's go for it, man. Boy, you're up by a field goal with 2 minutes left. No, we can end the game right here. And you get stuffed, and suddenly Saquon Barkley's catching a couple of passes out of the backfield, and the Eagles are lining up for a field goal, and suddenly Nick Sirianni's walking off the field going, we're going back to the Super Bowl. Telling you, that's my concern for the Lions. That's why this 4th down stuff with Dan Campbell, it's a risk.
4 out of 5 tonight in the victory. 13 minutes more time of possession. They ran an extra 30 plays. Just keep on going. Margin of victory, the field goal. Your 4th down man in the woods, it's fine. But it's all about the excellence of execution and the guy that you are.
But wait, let's be honest. You're just thinking back to going camping over a weekend and buying beer at a convenience store right now. You're just thinking about
I remember the time I went camping with my family and a listener found me in the woods.
Oh, you thought you were going to die?
There was a percentage chance in the moment.
Oh, Harmon's in a real-life horror movie.
The kids and the ex certainly thought we were going to die. Instead, it was a couple of Polaroids, and I'm like, don't forget what my car looks like.
You're like the Wallows on 1980s horror film. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, all of those things. But to me, this is who Dan Campbell is. This is what you're going to get. Now, the defense then let them down, right? On one of those 4th down possessions, in decisions, when they fail, what happened? 7-play, 70-yard drive. Okay. The call might have been bad. You might not like that. You might say too risky, and obviously hindsight always 20/20. You mentioned Josh Reynolds being the target of one of those, but when they give up 7 plays, 70 yards, your defense has to go out and do its job.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
So it's the cohesive unit. Right? This is, I trust you, you trust me, we're going to hold down our part.
Who are you, Barney? I trust you, you trust me.
No, that's it. We're in the trust tree. That's
now
what we're
I wanna
doing.
Trust me.
That's right.
I'm a trust fund baby. You could trust me. Okay.
I thought we were in the circle of trust.
I went Barney to Hamilton, man. I'm all over right now. I've had a lot of coffee. I'm good, man. I'm good.
And I end up going into the therapist session. I don't know what's under there. I mean, I just don't know. Maybe it's something I've never seen. I thought we were in the we were in the circle of trust. But just that idea that for Campbell, this is how they run their offense, and it might be foolhardy at times. It's not going to go away.
That's why I'm telling you.
If you're suddenly thinking that this is going to be a vast departure from the guy you've seen, I would be absolutely shocked if suddenly, you know what, it's 4th and 2. Bring out the kicker for that 48-yarder. Swirling in the wind at Philly.
Gonna push the envelope one too many. That's a big fear, man. That's my. There's not a lot of fears I have for the Lions because they're great.
Campbell versus Sirianni. Come on.
Let's go gambling. Let's go Christmas gambling. Christmas time is here. Going to 4 and 4th down is near.